Welcome back. All right, so the second game of the day is done between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers. And sadly, in the playoffs, we will not be seeing the gritty magnet on one of the playoff boards. So that's too bad. Anyways, today's game was between Jones and Anderson in the nets. I thought Martin Jones had another good game today. I do think Philadelphia is probably, showcasing him as potential trade bait as we get near the trade deadline. Lawton is out with a concussion, so the Canes established speed right off the start. This is Derek Stepan's 800th game as well. Hayes has a blast that saved. The rebound was held, and honestly, there weren't many rebounds for either team today. Both goaltenders pretty tidy around the net. Natchez has a rush chance that saved. The shots are 4-3 for the Flyers at 4 minutes. Or at 5 minutes, I should say. Canes, though, press at 6 minutes. Stepan's denied. The Canes with some momentum. Jones is the reason this stays 0-0 at that point. Svechnikov has a rush chance this block. The Canes getting plenty of zone time. That would be the storylines for most of this game. Shots were 9-4 at half in favor of the Canes. So no shots for Philly and 6 shots for the Canes through that period of the game. So again, Martin Jones is the reason it stays scoreless. Konechny has a rush chance that's saved. Svechnikov hits the side of the net. The Canes would press. Jones holds on. The Canes end up going to the power play. Trocheck can't bury one in close. The Flyers do kill it off. Flyers get a power play with 3:16 left. We end up with a post for York. JVR was then denied shortly after, and that power play is killed off. The Flyers had some momentum after it, but coming out of the first period, the score is still 0-0. Second period, Natchez has an early chance that's held. A few chances in that first few minutes. It felt like the storyline for Philadelphia, the plan today was just make sure nothing happens. Can we do our best to make sure nothing happens? So they did, I thought, a good job, as good a job as you can with neutralizing the speed and transition game of the Carolina Hurricanes until you just can't. So the Flyers get a power play. Then we get a minute and 54 seconds of 4-on-4. So that power play, not a very long one. So there was not very many opportunities today on the power play at all. Bear has a blast that's saved and held on to. And then he had another one. Same thing happens. Flyers press at 6.5 minutes. Svechnikov fires one high on the rush. The next rush chance for Svechnikov, he fires wide. So again, Carolina's getting opportunities. They're not hitting the net until at 8:34, Lawrence scores from Stepan and Chatfield, who continues to be impressive with Carolina this year. And so at 8:34 the period, it becomes 1-0 Carolina. Coming into today, they were 29-3-4 when they score first in a game. So it's very difficult coming back and beating Carolina if they get on the board first. So that's point number 500 for Derek Stepan. It was a nice pass from behind the net to get there as well. So Stepan, who had been a healthy scratch, gets into the lineup today with Seth Jarvis out, and he gets a point, and he's productive today. So Canes then press for another. The shots are 8-4 in their favor with 9 minutes left. Things get kind of scrummy, and Wes tells them to get lost, which was great. Wes McCauley, the ref, he's very vocal, and I always appreciate that. So, and that was behind the Flyers net. Canes press with 7 minutes left. Jones saves again. Canes are in control, but they're only up 1, and that's really the key thing here is the Canes are getting a lot of opportunity. They're getting that offensive zone time. They're getting all that really, the advanced stat side of things. They were doing quite well, but they're only ahead by 1 on the scoreboard. So the Flyers would score, but that was waved off immediately for goaltender interference, and Mike Yeo didn't really argue too much. The Flyers didn't argue too much that it shouldn't have been goalie interference. Broussard was in the crease. He did disrupt Anderson's ability to save the puck. So to make up for it, at 16:50 of the second period, Derek Broussard scores his 200th goal. He scores that from Atkinson and Ristolainen. It was on a rebound that Anderson really kind of needed to hold on to. So it's one of the few times today that either goaltender allows a rebound right out in front, and Broussard puts it in the net. So with that 200th goal, he's played on 9 different teams. Does he get moved to team number 10, where he can continue on from 200 goals? At the deadline, I would say it's 50-50 that Broussard ends up getting traded and ends up playing for team number 10. Flyers then look for the lead. The Canes would press. The puck deflects off of Trocheck's helmet and out. He's fine. It's one of those ones where it just hits a spot on the helmet where it does not impact him in a negative manner. Sanheim has a shot that deflects high, and in the last minute, there's a press by Philadelphia. Momentum's in their favor, and then there was a fast break for Hayes, and Bear defended that really nicely. So the announcers said basically it looked like Hayes was out of gas. I thought Bear just defended it really well, but either way, after the second period, the score is 1-1. Third period, Philadelphia, 15 one-goal losses. They kept putting that up there. They kept talking about how many one-goal losses Philadelphia has, which is the third most in the NHL. So I thought, all right, I'll put it on the board. You guys clearly want it on the board for the review, like ESPN watches my reviews. So Farabee has a net feed that won't go. Aho has a rush chance that deflects out. The actual shots on net are 2-1 for the Flyers at 4.5 minutes. And again, I thought they were doing a good job of just breaking up those fast break, those transition chances that you normally see in a Carolina game. Natchez fires wide. Flyers would clear it out. Flyers aren't giving the Canes room, so it's right there on the board. Not giving them the room for that transition game that is really a part of how their offense works. And it also helps their defense, because if that transition game is that dangerous, it makes other teams a little more tentative, and I think it helps keep their goals against down as well. Stepan's denied from in close. That was held on to. Svechnikov steals one. Jones denies him, as Jones did. 4 shots for Svechnikov to that point. He doesn't get a goal today, but he had some good opportunities. Solid road game for the Flyers. Solid road game for Jones. York fires one wide. There's a brief press by the Flyers there, but the Canes don't let that last. They don't let them get a lot of confidence. They make sure that puck gets out. The offensive zone time at this point in the game, almost 2-1 in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes. Sanheim fires one wide with 7 minutes left. The Canes press. Another hold by Jones. Again, not rebounds. Not happening. Stepan has a shot that deflects high. The Canes press with 4 minutes left. And what's interesting is that they were pressuring from about 4:20 left until 4 minutes left. So I put up there they press with 4 minutes left. I just keep it to the odd, to the actual minute or the 30-second mark, depending on where it is. Provorov has a chance to clear it. Gives it right to Trocheck. So Martinook gets a goal at 14:10 from Trocheck and Cole. And yeah, that's one that I think Provorov would want back. And this is where they also flash up the graphics. 17 one-goal wins for the Canes on the season, tied for the most. One thing I'll say, though, for the Flyers, and this is a compliment to the Flyers, I think they've been playing better lately. And I think all those one-goal losses tell you they're not really getting blown out. So there is a reason why a general manager would think, hey, next year we might be able to turn things around. It could happen, but again, all those one-goal losses tell you that the Flyers just don't quite have it. And so it's a matter of finding out in the offseason how you get that back. So, Konechny has a net feed that won't go. They pull the goalie with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Brassard fires one wide. Stahl then with an empty net goal attempt that's blocked by Ristolainen. The Canes keep the puck at the Flyers' end for a lot of that final minute. The Flyers get it out. They turn it over to Svechnikov. He gives the puck to Aho, who makes no mistake of hitting the empty net for the second time in 3 games. At 19:39 with his 26th of the season, he makes it 3-1. That's your final score. For the Canes, they're 41-12-5. They widen their lead atop the division. For Philadelphia, 18-30-10 on the season. So miserable run for them. For the Canes, they now have a 13-game point streak at home. They're 12-0-1 in their last 13 at home. That's pretty good. That's good. 3 stars in this one. Martinook, Stepan, and Freddie Anderson. I am surprised, a little bit surprised Martin Jones doesn't get into the 3 stars. I thought he was the only reason this game was close. Shots in this one, 15-10 Carolina in the first, 14-12 Philly in the second, 9-5 Carolina in the third. Final shots, 36-29 for the Hurricanes. Power plays, both teams go 0 for 2. Hits, 20-18 for Philadelphia. Jones saves 33 out of 35. Anderson saves 28 out of 29. So again, what we've been seeing lately, power plays seem to be dropping around the league because we're getting closer to the playoffs. And it was a tight game. And so Carolina gets the win. Philadelphia takes another loss, which isn't necessarily a big surprise. But again, I thought they had some good things they can build on coming out of this one. And of course, for the Canes, it definitely looks like it's their division at this point, and they could very well have the number 1 seed, but it's going to be it looks like it's between them and Florida as to who the top team is in the East, and that should be impressive to see who ends up winning that race. But let me know your thoughts regarding this game in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.